straight to the sky. Just the changing of the tides. Simplify, simplify.
Ooh, Simplify by Lost Coast. LOS Coast. That's funky.
Because I think if we talk over it, we can get on YouTube still. So keep talking, man.
That's a fat song.
Yeah. Simplify by Lost Coast. Boom.
Oh, that's
Welcome,
a good
everyone.
way to start Monday.
Yeah.
I like that. No, it's Sunday.
Sunday. You don't know. You work over...
I'm on night shift at the moment, bro, so I don't know what
bro.
day it is, what time it is, anything. Beautiful people, welcome back. Pub Ammo Podcast. I'm Joy. He's Tony.
I'm Taz.
This is Q. Behind the scenes.
Hello. Hey, look, I've set Google up for you straight away.
Oh, Christ. Here we go.
Must have
Here
a
we
lot
go,
of
here we
Google.
go, here we go.
Bit of
What's
looking.
going on, big fella? How you been?
My name's Tony and I'm an alcoholic.
You're not, bro. You're recovering.
I'm recovering today.
He's actually on the waters.
That's when I know it was a big night.
Yeah, when you know it's a big night when
Yeah,
I pulled
yeah,
out
yeah.
the little kids' cup.
What was the occasion? What was the occasion last night?
We had a bloody banana agent party, so they usually do it around Christmas, but there's a bit on. So they did it last night instead of around November where they usually do it.
Yeah, you're righto.
So I just got back from Canada and then I'm like, right, yeah, I'm back on the health train.
Yeah, nah.
And then it just got derailed a bit. It's lost a few carriages last night. You could probably hear it in my voice. It's
Jumped
a
off that
bit
wagon.
dusty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My daughter goes me, Dad, are you sick? I'm like, sick of telling shit stories at parties.
What time did you pull up?
I was only 12, but for me, that's 4 hours past my bedtime.
Yeah. As
I'm
you
an
get
early
As
riser.
you get older, the nights get earlier, don't they?
Yeah, but I've still
100%.
got to get up early, so I'm just... I just laid on the couch for 20 minutes. I said, and Kate come in and goes, your 20 minutes is up? And I'm like, give me another 20, please.
One more 20? One more 20.
Because there's a thing with sleep. They say once you go past, I think it's 40 minutes, you might as well, it ruins your sleep.
What do you mean? Once
So-
you're up for 40 minutes?
Oh, you don't get the benefit of the quick nap.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha.
So I think it's between 20 and 40 minutes. You can sleep that long and you actually get revitalized.
Yeah.
But if you go over that, it's just like you wake up tired again.
I can't nap, I very, very rarely nap.
I can't.
Super rarely.
Because I can't go. It takes half an hour. Like,
Yeah.
your eyes closed. Go
Yeah,
to sleep.
that's me
then,
too.
And then you're getting tapped.
Yeah.
Are you waking up now? I'm like, I think I just went to sleep.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5 minutes ago.
That's my issue too. It takes me an hour to unwind.
Yeah.
And even get close to thinking I might be able to have a nap, and then it's time to go. You wasted your nap time.
Yeah.
Should have stayed up.
There was another one where this fella said if you want to be creative and write down the creative part of your brain, he said go to sleep with a spoon in your hand
Yeah.
and you put a steel tray under your hand, and when you fall asleep, the spoon will fall out of your hand and hit the tray and wake you up. The noise.
Yeah.
And write down anything that you thought in that period, and that's the most creative part of your dreams or your sleep.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
So,
That's deep.
yeah, man.
Oh, right, bro.
Welcome to Pub Ammo.
You are hungover.
So, shout
You
out.
always get emotional when you're hungover.
Love you, man.
Love you too, bro.
No, we've got a couple of new sponsors on board.
We do, bro. We do.
And I didn't pre-record them, so they're going to be said very shit today.
Yeah. No, we'll survive. That's how we roll.
Actually, they're two very close friends of mine, so and they both got really good businesses, so
They
I might
have.
as well give them a plug. But first, we'll start off with right angle cabinets.
It's the right angle cabinet. No.
Right.
Not without the music.
All right.
Yeah, right angle cabinets. Go and see Mark and the crew.
They know what to do.
Servicing all the cans.
In the rest of NQ,
Located in Gordonvale.
north of Innisfail.
Their kitchens are on sale.
All their cabinets are off the rail. All their prices.
If you want a bitchin' kitchen,
Or flex with a desk.
see right angle cabinets and
And
I'll sort the rest.
rest. Yeah, so we usually have the song playing in the background, but that's how hungover I am.
And he's struggling to use his phone. I'm watching him and he's like,
Usually it's right here, but I've been playing a bit of music.
Pornhub,
Yeah.
RedTube,
Oh, not that. Was it frozen?
Grinder, wrong app.
Not right app. Right angle app.
That's the one.
So we also got we've got Coastal Marine and Outdoors. They're an Innisfail
They are.
company.
Joel and the team. So they're a Mercury distributor among plenty of other
Yeah,
things.
so they're Mercury and also Stacer boats.
Yep.
And have a lot of guns and ammunition and hunting equipment.
They'll cover all your hunting gear, all your boating gear, all your fishing gear, bait,
angle,
all
fridges.
your maintenance stuff, oils, filters, blah blah blah.
You forget how big that shop is when
They've
you
got
walk
heaps
in
in there, hey, yeah.
Because I always just go in and go straight to the depot.
Yeah,
If you
I
go to
know.
the left, there's a lot of shit on the left.
Yeah, absolutely,
And then
there
there's
is.
a lot of stuff on the right.
Yeah, a lot of camping gear and all that sort of stuff. And if you need any work done on your outboards and that sort of stuff,
Yep.
go and see the guys. They
Yeah.
are the best in town.
Yep.
And until the 28th, I believe, if you're thinking
Yes.
about repowering your boat, Mercury Australia and New Zealand has got a pretty sick deal going on.
Yeah, they're doing up to $3,000 on their engines
Yeah,
off.
that's exactly
so
right.
between the 115 horsepower and the 300 horsepower engine.
Woos.
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 But yeah, I went in the other day. That 400's still there.
Is it?
It is huge.
They're
eh?
massive, eh? Have you
It's
seen?
probably 7 foot long. or
I've
what?
seen a 600 at a distance. I've never seen one
No, I
up
haven't
close, but
seen
I'd
one,
love
no.
to know. I'd love to know how big they are up
Yeah,
close.
I think they're probably another foot on top of them.
They got to
sure.
be.
Yeah.
They got to be. Because those 400s, does the whole engine turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only
It's
the
only the
600s,
600s, yeah.
and that it's just the leg
Yeah.
that turns.
And being I've had Mercuries for a fair amount of my life. I was Yamaha. I was really a Yamaha boy.
yeah,
Boy.
Blee.
But now I'm going like Mercury. You can't fold them.
Look, the price you save on them for a start, the weight.
Yeah,
'Cause they're the
usually
lightest in the class.
and but I think most of them have the heaviest block,
Do
the
they?
thickest block.
Yeah, okay.
So
But you can tell they're winning people because now instead of just seeing Yamaha Enduros on the back of all the dories and that sort of stuff
Yeah.
up north and out here, they're starting to see a lot of commercial boats with Mercuries on the back of them. And even some of the bigger commercial
Yeah.
boats and that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
they've got a real good warranty service and that sort of thing. I think it's 5-year commercial warranty and 7-year for a recreational or whatever
Yeah.
you call it, private warranty.
and the good thing about Mercury is they will they'll send you an engine you can put on your boat. Other companies won't do
Yeah,
that.
no, they won't.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's
eh?
so friggin' annoying.
Like if you're in the middle of nowhere and you've got a shit broken down and you're a pro fisherman or something,
Yeah.
at least they can send you an engine and say, here, put it on your...
Yeah, there's no way you're going to try and get it trailered all the way to your
Yeah.
nearest dealership. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous to think so. And if they're not going to provide the service like these other manufacturers, if they're not going to provide, mobile fitting or something like that, well, you can't expect everyone to bring their boats
No.
to you.
No, so yeah,
But-
they've been doing really well lately. Their Instagram and all that's firing through the roof with
It
all
is.
the new engines, and they've really
But
ramped
to
up.
warrant the outboard, you must first have the boat. Where
The
would you get a
boat.
boat?
So another company that has jumped on board is BME NQ. They are the Cairns' largest boat builder, pretty
They are.
much
Yep.
in the region, and they do a lot of work on commercially. We can't say what they work on, but they do a lot of commercial stuff.
It's Jason Bourne.
If you get the drift. But they work on a lot of stuff like that. So if you got all those accolades and you're working on those types of commercial vessels,
You are very good at what
it
you
means
do.
you're very good at what you do.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
they've jumped on board with us. But the reason why they've jumped on board with us is they're looking for tradies.
Yeah, right.
So they're looking for someone to jump on and be part of the crew. So up there, I've been up there. I go up there once a month and just check out the place and have a chat with them and all that.
It's a
And,
good spot, hey?
mate, state-of-the-art facility.
Yeah, it is.
All brand new stuff there.
Yeah.
Best welders you can use, like everything.
Yeah, it is. It's the best of the best. If you
Yeah.
want to fabricate and cut your teeth in a bit of a class leader, I won't say in Australia, but definitely in Queensland and that sort of stuff, like he's booming at the moment.
Yeah.
So I probably would say Australia, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, my brother got his boat built there.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
It's getting finalised right now. So
Yeah.
in the next few weeks, we'll probably put something online. We'll do a little review of
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that's a real good idea because
Yeah.
it's a weapon of a boat.
Yeah. So if you're looking at, I reckon what I said, it's a sea change, a town change, not a sex change.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, if you want to,
Yeah.
whatever goes. New town, new year, new me.
But it's also Cairns. So Cairns is probably the most livable city in Australia, I reckon. By far.
It is. It is. North Queensland is.
Yeah.
We talk about North Queensland on here all the time. There's no difference between Cairns and Innisfail and Mareeba and all these surrounding areas all the way down to Townsville. It's all nice. And it's a great lifestyle.
Oh, it's definitely, if you like your fishing,
100%. And that's the other thing. If you are into your fishing and you're a fabricator and you think you want a bit of a sea change, well, this is the part of the world you want to be in.
Bam.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So if you're a tradesman and you want to do something like that, give BME NQ a call or hit us up and we'll put you in the right direction anyway. So.
100, yeah, absolutely. And if you are in the Cairns area and you want to check BME, pop on by.
In the Portsmouth area?
If you want information about boats and that sort of thing.
What's that street called?
It's not Tingara. It is the one just before Tingara. I'll get this for you. He's going to beat me, though.
Here we go. Yeah, so it's just down Portsmouth area. It's probably, I think it's over
Redden
Acres.
Street. Ha! Yeah. Beat you, motherfucker! Whoa, dinosaur had ya.
Yeah, so that shed is over an acre big too. It's a huge shed, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got all the CNC machines. He's got everything in there, right? Like you're literally working with the best gear.
Router.
Yep.
Everything.
So, hit him up or hit us up on the Insta. We'll send you in the right direction.
Yeah, so if you want to cut your teeth and come to NQ, we can put you in the right direction. Damn, even Google it. Have a look.
Pub Ammo podcast.
It's huge, isn't it?
Keeping all your maritime kitchen needs alive.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got our sponsors out straight out of the way, straight up right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, now we can't forget them. Like we do every other second episode.
I know, we're terrible like that.
No, we're not. We're trying to get more. Fuck you, shut up.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
Actually, we are still looking for sponsors for our boxing. I haven't approached anyone yet.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it enough, have we? Really?
No, so we've got Podcast Royale's coming up very shortly.
26th of April, Anzac Weekend, Gold Coast Exhibition and Entertainment Centre.
I think there's still tickets. I haven't had any updates this week, so I'm pretty sure there still would be a ticket or two.
Yep.
So jump on and check it out. And, we're going to go down. Jai's going to be in the 7-man blindfolding fight. Blindfolding.
Charter, mate. What charter, mate?
You hold them down and blindfold them. That's the fight.
Just hold them down from the back. They think they're getting boxed. They're not.
You're looking for the box. And I'm fighting in the fight before it. Actually, you're fight number 5. I'm fight number 4.
Yep.
And I'm fighting against a fellow named Will from Now That's Dramas podcast. And we both don't know how to fight by the looks of it.
And that was the essence of the idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the thing is, we signed up. We don't know how to fight, but we're going to give it a crack.
That's exactly
And we're training for it. So we're not going to look like duds out there anyway. But
leave that to the 7 idiots blindfolded.
And also, if I get a stuff, if I can piss, I mightn't look like a dud either.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm proud of you. Look at you drinking water.
Look at this, everyone. Water.
So what else is new? How's farm life going? Bit wet?
First week back
moist?
on the farm.
Yeah, you did well to jag the first shitty weather by pissing off to the other side of the globe. But you've copped this shitty weather. However, I do feel this shit might move past us and we could end up with some really nice weather by the end of next week.
I'm looking at that.
You see that?
Yeah. It's going to suck it. I think looks like Bundy might be possibly catching that.
These cyclones are starting to just drift
south.
lower, aren't they? You can't argue climate change when a whole weather system starts to just travel 1,000 kilometres further south than what they normally do.
No, I don't believe in climate change.
No, me neither. Not at all. It's just God got angry and he went.
I just think
there's too many trans people in Bundaberg. There's a joke, obviously, for those people from Bundaberg.
There is, because you've tasted the rum from there. Meanwhile, that's what I was on last night.
Was it? Oh, on the Bundy.
I think I went a bit transsexual last night.
Did ya? Yeah. I do when I'm on the terps.
Yeah.
Doesn't take me much. Usually 2 martinis, sex on the beach.
Oh, Quentin's looking at us going, you can't talk about trans. Yes, we can. There's no such thing. Ask what's his name overseas there, Trumpy.
About the Bundy.
Ask Trumpy. There's no such. There's only 2 genders.
Yeah, so this rain. So I was looking at some rainfall totals, right? Because we talked about Canada last week, and you missed a shit show this week. Like you really missed a shit show. So over the last, what are we into? 7th week, 7th week of the year, aren't we? Yeah, got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So 7th week of the year,
Nearly 8th.
and already. So for February, Ingham, which is what, hour and a half down the road?
Yep.
For February, which is 3 weeks of February, they've had 1,937 millimetres of rain.
Yep.
And for January, they had another 500 plus.
So 2.5.
That's like 2.5 meters of rain in 7 weeks, man.
Yeah.
And we're not far behind them. We're at like 2.1
Yep.
for the first 7 weeks of the year. And realistically, all of that came in like a 3-week period.
When I was away.
yeah, literally while you were away.
Oh, we had 1 or 2 days this week where it was pissing down in the morning, and I went across a creek to go to the paddock, and then I couldn't go back across it because
It came up
flooded,
that, yeah. Well, the water table's so high at the moment
it's-
around here, isn't it?
You spit on the ground and it comes back up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You can't go anywhere at the moment. It's just even this morning when we had that rain late last night into this morning, and that was over 300 mil.
Yeah.
It was a heap of rain last night, and it just filled up everywhere.
Because the river was up. When I come home, the river was up nearly at there's the Johnson River, and there's an old bridge. It was nearly over that this morning. When
Was
we
it?
drove back.
Was it? Yeah, right.
That's what I was like,
go.
oh, fuck, they must have had some rain.
So this part of NQ, when we talk about rain sometimes, I don't think for those listeners that are, other places that probably don't cop the amount of rain. Yeah, over 2 meters of rain in what is essentially probably 5 weeks, really.
We had the version of what Japan's having right now with their snow. You seen that?
Oh, that was unbelievable, wasn't it? Far out.
They've put a picture up on Insta there, that Hucklebar.
Yeah.
There's a chairlift that the bloody, the wires that take the chair up, it's under the snow.
That's right. You can't see the posts from the chairlift.
Because they usually groom the runs every night. So that
wow, really?
That means like 2 or 3 meters of
more than that.
Yeah.
It's got to be like 5 meters because those chairlifts, I'm assuming, are pretty high, right? They've got to be.
Yeah.
I did see
in
that.
certain spots. If
I
they
think you
go
might
over
have
a bit of
sent that to me.
a hump or something, you can get fairly low. To
Yeah,
the ground.
yeah.
And I think that's the spots where it's touching, sort of thing. But I think where at the bottom where it all spins around and goes back up.
It'd be under snow.
The top of that you could just see the top of it.
Wow, far out. Yeah, I was talking to my buddy Andy. Shout out Andy. He said because he's living over there, not far from my buddy Andy. And he said it hasn't cracked 2 degrees in like the last week and a half or 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
2 degrees has been their highest temp.
Yeah.
And overnight it's like -4 to -10 type stuff. I'm like, dude, how did you go from far north Queensland to that? I don't think I could live in that.
No, you can't. I visited it and it's fun, but there's no way you can live in it.
Oh, right.
Not at all. I was getting sick of it by the last few days. I'm like, no, fuck this. It's just putting clothes on and off is just crap.
But also too the cold. The cold just beats you down.
Yeah, we found we'd go to bed at like 8:30, and we'd sleep until 8 the next morning.
Just cold.
Just because your body's just like, oh well, you can't get up. It's dark outside and it's cold.
How
Just
much?
stay in your bed, bro.
I didn't ask you that. Were you getting a full day of sunshine over there?
Yeah, it's 8 in the morning. It comes up.
Yeah.
And about 4:30 it goes down.
So almost.
Yeah.
Almost. Not too short.
Yes. By 4:30 it's like feels like 7 o'clock here.
And by 5 it's dark?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, like I said, with our cyclones moving south and the snowfall over there and that sort of stuff. Come on. Come on.
No, I don't. It's just
We're doing something wrong. We are.
It's just a cycle. All right.
But once this shit goes down and flogs Bundaberg and floods them again, at least we'll have some good weather up here and we'll get out of the water again.
Yeah. I did see a thing online the other day where they're going against climate change just because they went to somewhere in India, the highest mountain in India, Kilimanjaro or whatever. They said that one
I
of
actually
them,
think it is Kilimanjaro.
something like that.
Yeah,
And they
right.
said they went there and there's going to be every year there's less and less snowfall. And they said, this is like 1980s. And they said, by the year 2000, or 2020, this will be just a bare desert. We'll have no snow and all that. And it's got, when fast forward to 2020 and it's like 5 meters of snow over the top of it.
Oh, it still is it? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they can talk a bit of shit about climate change as well.
Yeah, definitely can. And see, but that's the problem is it's that real minority that seems to get so much airtime on it. Like, why do we always hear from these twits with green hair and like rainbow?
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring the rainbow crew into it. Sorry, guys, my bad. But you know what I'm saying. It kind of is the same.
Did you see that thing in New Zealand with the Man Up crew, whatever? They had the gay pride march.
Oh yeah. Look, I've listened to this a fair bit, and that's a church group.
Yep.
And it's this church group is run by this Māori fella named Brian Tamaki, and he pawns himself off as like, you know, a new prophet and a new Messiah and all that sort of stuff. And most of the people that are in his like following and that sort of stuff are all kind of low socioeconomic, and he takes advantage of them and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're a bunch of fuckwits.
And
They are a
can you
full
Google
tilt
this?
bunch of fuckwits, man.
'cause
Like,
I heard-
end of story. Whoever's seen that is such a small minority of New Zealand, especially Māori, and
So
they
what's it
don't
called?
represent us.
Man Up.
No, it's actually a church, man. It's a church.
Because I actually got information off another person we know
not
the other
Hillsong.
day, and
That's the other cult.
and he said that I don't know if it's that fella, but one of them got done for child porn.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
So-
Destiny Church, that's what it's called. It's one of them sing hallelujah, wave your hands around in the air kind of stuff. But it's just another. He's a bit fanatical, and that's what ruins it for all.
And, just put in child porn allegations. Is that it there? Response to calls to remove.
No, they want to take. So everybody wants NZ government to take their charity status off them, because just like every church, he's making a bulk amount of money off it and that sort of stuff. So everyone's jumped up and down and gone, well, nah, stuff him, because he's a flog.
Yeah,
he's just a full tilt.
yeah.
flog.
Also, this is just hearsay, but I heard he got done. Not him or someone in that
Someone in this crew.
high in that crew got done for pedophilia
No, I'm not surprised.
or child porn. So
And
not good.
and here they were having a crack at some blokes in dresses, and I guarantee none of them have probably been charged with pedophilia.
let
Now-
them have their day.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
say.
yeah. Let them have their day. That's exactly right. You get yours every Sunday. Let them have their day, whatever other day it is. Now, talking about this, we were just talking about this before, and this is a bit of a shitty one.
Yeah, so we
'Cause-
thought we might get into it straight away because it only happened yesterday, didn't it?
Oh, no, I think it was about 3 days
3
ago
days
now.
ago.
I think.
But the stuff has happened.
Yeah, over the weekend, and yeah, so mid last week, I don't know if you may not have heard it. I'm sure it's been all over the news, and if you haven't heard it, well, you probably live on the other side of the country and it hasn't made the news yet. But on, I think it was Wednesday night, a couple of juveniles, not going to bring race into it in any way, shape, or form, because we don't know where they're from. That's not even going to become a part of it. A piece of shit is a piece of shit. Red, white, black, brown. We don't give a fuck.
We
how
all
you
shit
get
the
down.
same.
It's exactly right. I don't give a fuck where you're from. But a 15-year-old and two 16-year-olds, we know their age, broke into a house up in Cairns, and not only did they rob the place and do everything else, they actually raped the young lady. I think she was 30 or 31. Raped her numerous times, and her hubby was held at knife point while that happened. Now, stealing cars is one thing. Breaking into houses is one thing. But that's a huge escalation in
Societal
the severity.
change.
That's a huge escalation in the severity of that crime. Do you know what I mean? And it is like words can't. I can't even imagine that.
No, and we were sort of we were saying, what would we do in that situation?
Oh, I don't honestly don't know.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't. How do you respond to that?
and the thing
And
is,
from one bloke to another, because I feel like when these types of things come out, lots of blokes like to get on their chivalry pony and that wouldn't have happened to me. I would have died. I would have got stabbed. I would have done this. I would have done that. Fact of the matter is, you could have would have done lots of stuff, but it didn't fucking happen to you. So shut your fucking mouth.
yeah,
End of story. These fellas, him in particular, I'm not saying his is worse than hers in any way, shape, or form. Like on behalf of all men, sorry that happened to you.
yeah,
They're not men.
definitely. They weren't men.
They're just
so
grubs. They're
yeah.
dregs. They're not men. And I
they're not-
hope there's lots of good men that get around that young lady and help her to realise that that's
Yeah.
not men.
No,
You know, and for anyone that tries to bring the knives out for this bloke for not doing what they think they would have done and into that situation, it doesn't benefit anyone.
you don't know
If
what the
that's
situation was.
that's your theory, shut your mouth.
That's the thing. You don't know what the
No,
situation
you don't.
was.
You don't. It's bad enough. They don't need all the cowboy, like, what do they call them? Keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
Don't need all the keyboard warriors coming out for them. If you want to come out for anyone, come out for me.
Mm.
You know, it is, and if this doesn't spark a change, I honestly don't know what will. And if this doesn't start a policy change at a governmental level, then I think it's time that people went like looking after themselves.
So can we talk about how stuff got rushed and pushed through?
Yeah, so they got caught on the Wednesday, and for whatever reason, probably just the process that it takes, they didn't face court until Friday, till Saturday, and the Cairns court apparently didn't have a session on that Saturday, so they brought them down to Innisfail and ran them through the court down here on Saturday, where it was obviously a lot further away from the place that it happened, and it
Possible
was
media,
a lot
possible all the other
quieter.
stuff. Yeah.
No one said anything about it. No one knew anything about it until they've fronted up in court. Then the judge from down here, I think I snapshotted his name because fuck him. He has banned all the media from being in there, in the hearing and that sort of stuff.
I don't know why.
He's banned her family and his family, the victim's family. They can't be in there to see these. So they're already getting protected. They're already getting protected after doing something like that.
Yep.
And I do think, I might get a bit of backlash for this, but I do think it's about time people started looking after themselves. The cops, and I'm not pointing fingers at the police because this is not a police problem. We've said that on here numerous friggin' times. It's the judicial system, it's the courts, it's the government. That's where the problem lies, and we're the ones that are wearing the brunt of it. People like this couple are the ones that are wearing the brunt of it.
Yeah. I've heard a few stories about sort of castle law, but there's not sort of ways, but if you get someone break into your house or something, you can defend yourself to a certain point. So you can,
The first one. No.
So you can defend yourself to a certain point.
Yeah.
Because if you feel like your life is threatened, you can defend yourself.
Of course you can.
So where it all goes wrong is where you've defended yourself and that person gets out and runs and you chase him down with your car and run him over or something.
You can't leave your premises.
Yeah. Or something like even in the front yard. If he's getting out the front yard and he's trying to escape, you can't chase him and beat him to death or whatever.
No, I know. Yeah, that's right.
That's the difference. But
yeah,
if
it's got to be in your own home and on your premises before any of that sort of.
Soon he can't be seen to escape or something like that.
But
it's a shit. To me, it's a shitty law.
That level of absolutely it is. But that level of escalation in the crime, in the severity and the violence and there's some serious violence behind that, bro. For a 15 and 16-year-old kid,
for them to do that, they would have to have seen that,
bro. Oh, absolutely.
Or
they're
families.
They're victims in itself.
Yeah.
To get to that at that age,
everyone's victims of victims.
Everything has gone wrong from the time that little fella was born.
Yeah.
To end up at that by 16 years of age. And we should all not forget that.
Yeah.
But that being said, good people now and have been, like there was another one down in Melbourne not long ago, a father of 5 got cleaned up by a stolen car. He was out for a motorbike ride, just sitting at a set of lights, bang, got poleaxed, dead. Couple of kids in a stolen car.
Yep.
So it is like it's gotten to murder now. It's gotten to murder. It's gotten to rape. It's gotten to, deprivation of liberty and making somebody watch their missus get raped. Like that level of that, there's no excuse for that. And I think everyone now should just chuff off down to Bunnings and get one of the handles.
What do they call
the
it?
handles.
Anti-rape stick.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Because a axe handle.
Yep.
Is a tool that you would have around your house to work on your garden.
And they are perfect. You can actually
wink,
get those,
so to speak.
You can get those poly type ones in there, and they have the heavy insert in the middle of them. Get those; they work better because gloves are off now.
Yep,
gloves are off, and I'd encourage everyone out there if you buy a dog, get a big dog, get a big dog that bites.
But also get it and be an owner for that dog.
Oh, of course,
sure that dog has manners.
Yeah, exactly.
It has the right manners for the right people.
Yeah, that's it. But I don't know how we got to this.
Yeah, I don't
know how we got to
it
this.
happens once every blue moon over the years, and it's just it just seems like the blue moons are getting closer together.
Oh, we're having a couple of blue moons every year.
Yeah. So it's just a big shout out to those people and their families.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
what they've been through. So Yeah.
And like I said, as a community, get around them. Don't tear them down. Don't be those humans. No one likes those humans.
No.
Get around them. That's what we need more of. But for that sort of thing to be happening in Australia, and it's probably just so alarming because it's here.
Yeah.
It's not to say that this
80
type of
Ks
thing
up the road.
doesn't. Yeah, that's right. It's not to say this thing probably happens with regularity in populations as big as Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane. This is probably, and that's so far from cool. That's so far from cool.
Yep.
And that's not turning it into a race thing. A piece of shit's a piece of shit.
No, that's right. Because every town has
No
their
matter where you
different
grew up
types of
from. Yeah. That's right.
turds.
But that sort of thing is just, oh. What would you do? What do you reckon you'd do?
At knife point like that?
I know, it's easy to say you'd have a go.
I don't want to say what I'd do, really.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know.
I'll probably implicate myself and then I'm going to go.
Yeah, true, eh?
So I'm not saying what I would do.
Leave it at that, but DM us any ideas that you've got. Anyway. So, what else you got, bro? What else you got?
All right, so back on a...
Yeah, we'll lighten that up because fuck, it makes me angry. Like
Oh,
I
I know.
actually, like you get.
When you were telling me upstairs, I could hear how upset you were in your
Oh,
voice.
it fucking hell, it really does. That's that's the most vile of the vile. And hopefully suicide catches those kids.
Yeah, fuck them.
That's a bit of an epidemic. You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's a COVID. That's what it is.
They've gone. There's steps. Stealing car, yeah, you can recover from that.
Car's a car, man.
But even Quentin's over there going, fuck them.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But
Sorry,
when
mate.
it's held at knife
But-
point,
Yeah, it's like
By
Yeah,
comparison, a
having
car's a car.
break into my house. It's like
yeah,
thinking, what if?
What
you know?
if?
Yeah.
What if?
That could have been
I
you
wasn't
guys,
home.
man. That was only
Yeah.
what 3 months ago,
Yeah,
maybe
a couple months
thereabouts.
ago,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I
So-
mean.
Just
Like I said,
so
don't feel
you've been
safe.
closer to this than us.
Yeah.
like
it's
the
just
feeling of it.
crazy to think about.
Yeah.
and, like your kids, being there as well, and it's just
But that escalation in violence is so full
crazy
on.
escalation.
That's
you
so
don't
full
and
on, man.
being right there, like
Yeah,
Mm.
you know what
they
I mean.
could have been,
And 16 years old.
Yep.
The two 16-year-olds had 5 charges of rape between them,
Yep. Probably
plus
the,
deprivation of liberty
probably
and
for
all this
all
sort of stuff.
like I wouldn't even say males, the people of the house that are a bit worried that they can't look after themselves as good as they could. Fusion Fight and Fitness. In
Yeah.
all the towns, there's one in Cairns, one in Innisfail, one in Atherton. I
Yep.
think it's Flow, and there's one in Tully.
It doesn't matter where you are around the country. There is somewhere
Learn
you
jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
go and learn Muay Thai. Yep.
Yep.
They will definitely help you in stopping all this.
Yeah, it really will.
Yeah, 100% it will.
It really will. And since I was little, I've done lots of martial arts across, different sort of types of scenarios and that sort of thing. But the number one that works is jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
It just is. Everyone will argue, Krav Maga, this, that, and a lot can be said for just a straight right down the pipe too.
Yeah.
But under the circumstances, jiu-jitsu is probably going to help you most.
It will help you the most because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to end up in jail for actually hurting them because you was just control them and you can actually put them to sleep, make them wake back up, put them back to sleep, let them wake back up, put them back to sleep.
But if you're in,
just keep doing that till the cops come.
if you're in Cairns right now though, and that's where the escalation has gone to, you're probably rightly so too. I think you're probably going straight past just restraining people now.
Mm.
I wouldn't be thinking about restraining people now.
Well, that's the other thing I like about jiu-jitsu. Breaking legs, mend.
yeah,
Pop shoulders, pop knees.
yeah, that's right.
There's
All non-
a constant reminder of that for the rest
Yeah,
of your
yeah, yeah.
life. They are never the 100%
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
again
yeah.
once they've popped out.
yeah, you take a shoulder and turn it around the wrong way, make it face the back.
Yep.
It
It's
doesn't work real
never
good,
coming
yeah.
good ever again.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
That's another good thing. that
Anyway, but
jiu-jitsu
we're
does.
certainly not sitting here telling you what we do. That's not
and
what
what
we're talking
they
about.
should have
But
done and all that sort of stuff.
I
No,
think-
it's what
as a community, we're all starting to realise that the law
Self-defense.
isn't going to help you. So do everything you can
to help yourself.
to help yourself.
Yeah.
Whether that's a dog, whether that's some cameras. If you need cameras installed, I know just the man that'll do it for you in the far north Queensland area. But everyone's got to take those steps now,
Yep.
don't they?
Yep. Probably the first one's a dog.
I think, yeah.
Even a little yappy dog. At least
Yep.
they wake you up.
Yep. They make some noise.
Mm.
That's all.
Yeah.
My suggestion would be something along the lines of a Cane Corso, potentially a Doggo Argentino, and it's hard to go past, just an old-fashioned pit bull.
Not allowed to call them.
really
They're
is.
called Amstaffs in Australia.
Amstaff, Pity, XL Bully, Staffy, I don't care what you want to call it. But if someone jumps in your yard, he's still going to be there when you get up.
I've got two outside here that could be your friend right now if you want to come visit.
Right. It's just... So yeah, folks. But as a community, I think we all need to just kind of come together over this one. Don't turn it into a race thing. Just turn it into a we all need to start looking out for each other. Look out for your neighbours.
Yeah, look out for
the
your
older
neighbours.
folks that live over the road and that sort of stuff. And if that pay it forward like idea takes hold and we all start looking out for each other.
It's nearly like the old neighbourhood watch.
No,
how that
exactly
used to be
right.
set up.
Yeah.
Nelly might have to go back to that. I
Oh,
reckon.
yeah, it's getting to that point, isn't
I
it?
reckon they should nearly go to streets where they have a gate on the street. And
well-
after a certain amount of time, you're only allowed in there if you have that key for that, like the
Well, there's a
remote
lot
for
of
that gate.
there's a lot of gated communities, and there's a lot of gated communities now that are offering security.
Mm.
Like not necessarily up here in far north Queensland, but down around the major capitals and that sort of thing. There's plenty of them that have body corporates that take care of all the lawns and maintenance, but they also pay for security, and they have a security guard, or they have a security company that's like on call, or they do laps through the estate. And it's getting to that. But maybe we can circumvent that by everybody just looking out for each
look
other
out for
just a
your
little
neighbour.
bit more.
Definitely.
And if you find someone in your house, once they stop breathing, you stop hitting.
Apparently.
You do. No. Once they're breathing through their sinus, like there, then you stop hitting. You stop dropping elbows, man. Whether they are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 or 15, it's a free-for-all now.
Yep.
You protect your home, you protect your family, you do whatever you got to do it. If you're getting knives out of the kitchen, get a knife out of the goddamn kitchen. Like it's gotten to that point now where you just do whatever. If they want to act like animals, treat them like animals.
Yep.
End of story.
So we'll get back onto some pub MO
Okay,
now.
so yeah, pub MO. Anyway, let's get off it. So pub MO, what is it? Tell me, brother.
So our podcast is pretty much about just telling those yarns that you would tell at the pub. And we go a little bit further and try to get a little bit, because we've told all those pub ones already
Yeah.
in the past.
We
Hey,
embellish
guess
a
what?
little bit.
We're only like 5 episodes off 100.
Are we?
Yeah.
Shit. What are we
Yeah.
going to do?
I've got an idea.
Hey, hang on a
I'll tell you
second.
off air.
That's going to mean our... Well, we might have to do our 100 from the podcast Royale.
That's 5 weeks. We got 8 or 9 weeks. We're only 5 weeks off, eh?
Off 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't we only 5 weeks? Oh, no, it
No,
is 8
we're
weeks.
about
Sorry,
8
we're,
now.
yeah, we're in February. Come on, this is my 7th night of 7 tonight, bro. Just leave me alone.
So so we do the pub MO where we like to bring up stuff that you chat around the barbie with your mates. And did you know that?
Did you know, like this,
Yeah.
did you know that lemurs out in Madagascar are crackheads?
Are they?
You know, the lemurs, like King Julian and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing, they're crackheads. But you know what they're crackheads for? The scarlet millipede. So out there in Madagascar, they got these great big, and they're big ugly bastards. You should see them. They're as thick as my finger, these scarlet millipedes, right? But these lemurs munch on them, and there's a chemical in these scarlet millipedes, because they're bright red. Look at the buggers. I don't know why you'd put that in your mouth.
They look like, I've seen them here. They grow here.
Well, I don't know. I think they're only... Well, these ones I was talking about are the
Yeah.
over there ones.
Yeah, those ones there.
And-
I've seen them on the ground here.
Yeah.
They're just
So
like
these-
a worm with legs.
So these lemurs get stuck into them, and it cooks them. And then you see them; they're just all flaked out on the branch. It's just like hanging down like
Chilling
this.
out.
Yeah. Cooked.
Hey, bro.
Cooked.
Yeah, so if
That's
you're
them.
not, if you're only
Yeah.
listening, they look like an earthworm with little tiny small legs.
They look like an angry earthworm.
They
That's
actually
what they
look like the underneath of a red belly black snake.
They're horrible
the
looking
colour of
bastards.
them.
Oh, they do too. That's
Yeah.
exactly the colour is the same as a red belly black. And again, a red belly black is a good warning not to eat me. But these little bastards missed it, and that's what they do. They eat it. They eat them just to get cooked. So there you go, useless piece of pub ammo. Well, you got.
Nice.
I got more.
Oh, actually, have you heard of there's one special breed of goats that if you scare them, they freeze and fall
These
over?
fainting goats, man. I've seen this stuff. Hey, have you ever seen one in real life?
No, I've
I'd
only
love-
watched them on Insta, and I watched it for half an hour.
100%. Isn't it cool? Like, it's not cool.
I want one.
I do too. I've been saying that to the missus. I wonder if you can. I wonder if you can get them in Australia.
I don't know, but what happens is you just if you could sneak up on them and just go bang, they'll just freeze and fall over. That must be their, what do you call it, defense mechanism to play dead.
To play dead. Because I think there's other critters that do it too. Like I'm sure one of the lemming family, like them little critters, them little long stoaty looking things. I think one of them do it too, where they just hit the deck.
Yeah, pretend they're dead, and then they're like, oh well, I can't eat it; it's rotten.
Yeah, that's right. Must be something wrong with it. Just had a heart attack. Yeah, I have seen those fainting goats. They're cool. I wonder if you can get them in Australia. Surely you can. It's just a goat.
What is it? What's it called?
Fainting goats for sale in
Goats.
Queensland.
Myotonic
goats. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, put on myotonic goat for sale in Innisfail. I'm going around there this afternoon.
Yeah, man. Oh, your missus would have an aneurysm if you brought home a little goat.
Her sister's got one, a goat. Yeah.
Whose sister?
Kate's sister's out. They got goats
Oh,
and
have
lambs and everything. And her name's Mary, and she's got a little lamb.
Goats.
I'm like, for
Are you
real?
serious?
Yeah, so and
That's
it's fleece
awesome.
as white as snow too. Everywhere Mary went, she rocks up here and she's got this lamb with her. I'm like, oh, fucking yeah.
Oh, it
she's gotta
doesn't have
keep
to come everywhere with you.
So I said the nursery rhyme's always got to be true.
Oh, that is hilarious. No, look, you can get them down in Jimboomba. Jimboomba. Queensland. Miniature Nigerian and pygmy goats.
So are they miniature?
Cedar Pocket.
No.
Isn't Cedar Pocket just down here?
So
no, that's a different pocket.
myotonic.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh,
I found known as Tennessee fainting goats, and they are Texas
maybe
wooden
not.
stiff-legged nervous scare goats. No, you might not be able to get them here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, wonder what they taste like.
That'd be a bit frigid.
Is it a release of like adrenaline that
Probably,
makes them
yeah.
do it, or is it the other way where it's
They've
like
probably
they
got the
just
world's
relax straight
hugest
away?
adrenaline gland.
Maybe
and
they
just
do.
Hits them and
Probably
they
tastes like shit. Yeah,
tastes like adrenaline.
There you go, fainting goats.
So-
yeah, go. What else you got?
No, your turn. I just did the go.
All right. This is kind of not. It is a fact because this actually happened, but I just thought it was pretty cool. So you remember the movie Predator with Arnie and Carl Weathers and that sort of thing? One of the best alien movies of all time. If you
probably
haven't
is.
watched it,
It is.
go and watch it. If your
Yeah.
kids haven't seen it,
I'd
let them watch it.
I'd like to watch it again to see if it is as like we're like this is so realistic.
Bro,
this is so
it's
true.
got to be. I've watched a little bit of it over the last 15 years, and it was still good. But here's a story from the making of that movie that I didn't know. So there was Sonny, the Indian dude. You know the Indian dude that had the long black hair. He was real serious. Just carried a big knife around with him, and that was just how he rolled. The actual actor's name is Billy. Sorry, the actor's name is Sonny Landham, and in the movie he played a guy named Billy, a Native American tracker. All right, so this Sonny Landham dude was such a unit, that the director of the movie and the production team of the movie had to hire a bodyguard on set, not for him, but just to stop him from beating shit out of people because he was just a fucking angry lunatic that got on the piss every night and he was just an absolute menace. Like, so this dude literally had to run around and block people from this dude. I mean, look at him. He looks a bit tapped, doesn't he?
Oh, big time.
Yeah. So they had to, look after the rest of the thing because of his aggression, because he was such a nutter. Why did they not make him the star of the movie? I wanted to see him go toe-to-toe with that big critter.
I remember when he got his head cut off because I think the predator cut his head off and he was actually screaming as he's carrying his head away. Is that him?
Was that him?
I think
remember.
it was. It was like, ah! He caught him and he's like, ah! And he's seen walking off with
Yeah,
with
right,
his head.
okay. Was that his head, was it?
I've got a feeling it is.
Yeah. Imagine that. You couldn't roll that. Imagine all these little millennials trying to act with a dude like that today. Are you kidding me?
You need 20 bodyguards.
Even the bodyguard wouldn't want to tangle with him. Even the
Crying.
bodyguard would be like, I'm not dealing with this shit.
Again. Hey, Predator director, how about you take the alcohol off him?
Yeah, well, that's it. Right? Yeah. Anyway, what else you got?
He probably started the first night and he didn't drink, and the next night he started drinking and he got halfway into the movie. He's like, shit, now we got to keep him.
True,
Started
eh?
drinking like a fish.
Now, where did I save? I had something else. What do you got?
Have you
Go.
heard of
While I
a bloke
find this.
named Brian Udell?
Brian Udell?
Yes.
No, I have not.
I listened to
Who is Brian Udell?
I listened to a podcast today, and it's a good one. I can't remember the name of it because my wife subscribes to it.
Yeah.
And we just listened to him on the way home from a long drive, sort of thing. And because I'm not giving away the opposition. Nah. You got to listen to us and us only.
Not giving them a leg up.
No, he is an Air Force pilot, and what made him special is he's the only pilot to survive a 785 mile an hour ejection at supersonic speed.
Wow. How fast?
85, I think it was.
Miles an hour. What's
So-
that? That's like 14. Yeah, 1400.
Oh, what's it?
2.2.
1.6. 1.6.
Oh, 1.6. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking pounds. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, probably over to 1,200 or
Far out.
1,100 or something.
1,000. Yeah, 1,100.
1100.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he, what happened was he's calibrate all the, they have them sights through their eyes and all the calibration and all that head-up display inside their helmet.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
off
yeah.
the side.
Yeah.
All that played up while he was flying at night time, him and his co-pilot. And it all played up. So he was flying, and it was saying he was doing the 60-degree bank, but he was actually heading down towards the ocean because he goes, the only reason why he knew he was not doing what the instrument said, he said he was taught at a young age, you listen to your plane as well. So you actually hear the sounds of the plane, and you know what the plane's doing just by listening to the air rushing over the top of the canopy and all that. You know how
You
fast
know
you're
what
going.
you're doing.
He said at a certain speed you will hear this certain sound at 550 knots. You know this sound and all this sort of stuff.
Wow.
So he goes, I know we're not doing 400 knots. We're actually doing over 500 or 600 knots just by the sound. So he said to his co-pilot, our instruments are out, and there's another one that they can bring up between their legs. While all this was happening, they're rocketing straight down from 14,000 feet at the ocean at 1,100 miles an hour, kilometers an hour. So he had to make all these quick decisions whether to eject, and they knew by the sound that he was going to supersonic speed, and he could bring up this display between his legs just to see as their backup, and he finally realised that they were heading out the fucking ocean at 1,100 kilometres an hour. I think it's breaking the sound barrier and all that.
It is, yeah. It's over Mach 1.
And he had to eject. So him and his co-pilot ejected. And as he ejected, the force from the ejection made his head swell up. It ripped his helmet off, his goggles, made his head swell up 4 times the size, dislocated the 2 arms and 2
And his
legs
hips.
and
Yeah.
the hips,
Yeah.
and blew all his eyes,
Oh my
hematomas in his
God,
eyes. His
really?
lips swelled up to 3 times the size they usually are,
Wow.
and he was unrecognisable. And this all, and then,
Wow.
and
That's
then-
some Top Gun Maverick shit. That is.
and so, what happened was he worked it all out. If he ejected within a half a second any later, he'd be dead because he ejected 4,000 feet above the sea, but by the time it fully opened up, he was only 500 feet above sea
the
level.
water. Wow.
So you've worked that out at
Yeah,
speed.
yeah. Yeah, that's
At
like hitting
traveling
concrete.
11.
Yeah.
And so he actually, and of course only thing that saved him was one of his arms popped back in so he could actually use it.
Far out.
And so what happens is when they eject, they have a string that has like a life raft and that on it. And
Yeah.
so he had to like pull one arm, put it in his teeth and bring it up just to see if the life raft was still attached to the seat. And
Wow.
so he brought that up and he said you shake it and it'll inflate. So he hit the water. This is a nighttime, pitch black dark and rough ocean.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't climb in. And then the only thing that made him climb in was he just thought, I'm not dying here. I've got a
Not today.
wife and kid.
Not today.
I got a wife who's about to have my kid.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to have that
Yeah.
knock on the door and give her that story. So
And that's why people like that end up in the military.
yeah. And just to hear the way his thought processes,
Yeah.
just the way he went about it, I'm like, geez, like
It's
it has to be training.
yeah,
Just
at
the
that
way
level.
it-
At that level, it is though. Like
Yeah.
you imagine if you were to make it a percentage of the Earth that fly those types of planes.
Yeah.
It's probably not even measurable.
Yeah.
You probably count the numbers on all of our hands that actually get to fly those planes on the regular.
Yeah, and his co-pilot actually died. He ejected
he?
and died
Yeah.
because of the
Force.
force, and he they told him he'll never fly again and all this sort of stuff. They had to take him out and pin pretty much his whole body.
Wow.
Guess how? Within 10 months, he was back flying for
No,
the Air
you're
Force.
kidding. Really? That's it.
They told him he'll never fly again. Within 10 months, he's back flying.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
So
it's funny.
Brian Udell, you're a fucking
weapon
champion.
So I've got one, and it's a military one too. You've kind of found very similar to what I've found, except this dude wasn't a fighter pilot. He was a Lieutenant General Sir Adrian Paul Guillain Carton de Watt, or Wiat, W-I-A-R-T. All right. So he was an officer in the British Army.
Yep.
Now, this is back in the day. He was born 1880, 5th of May, 1880, I think. Yes, that was right. 5th of May, 1880.
Was he born in Brussels, Belgium?
He was born in Brussels, Belgium. Okay.
On the screen.
So, he was awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest military decoration awarded for valour in the face of the enemy in various Commonwealth countries. Not just one, various countries, right? So he served in the Boer War, the First World War, and the Second World War. He was shot in the face, head, stomach, ankle, leg, hip, and ear, was blinded in his left eye, survived 2 plane crashes, tunnelled out of a prisoner of war camp, and tore off his own severely injured finger when a doctor declined to amputate them. Describing his experience in the First World War, he wrote, "Frankly, I enjoyed the experience." This dude, and then
has seen some shit.
So battles and wars. This is his list of battles and wars. He went to the Second Boer War, the First World War, the Somaliland Campaign, Battle of Somme, Battle of Passchendaele, Battle of Cambrai, Battle of Arras, Polish-Soviet War, Polish-Ukrainian War, Polish-Lithuanian War, Second World War, invasion of Poland, Norwegian Campaign, and the Second Japanese War. And the award, like this, how has no one made a movie about this dude? But like, really? And then
They couldn't find an actor with no fingers.
his last stint was the Second World War, and they didn't want to send him because
They said he'll finish it on his own.
No, because he was too old. He was like in his early 60s. He was 62 or 64 in his last thing that he went on. And they actually got to the point where they were like, dude, you're too old. Like, you got to stop this shit. Like, he's had an eye patch by this stage. He was missing a finger. I think he was missing an arm by that stage
missing an arm
as well.
too,
Yeah, he's missing an arm as well. Look at this old gangster.
And that's probably when he was wanting to go to war
Probably.
again. And he looks probably, 70 there?
Yeah, what a 62 years old. Yep. And sorry. He even evaded capture for 8 days disguised as an Italian peasant because he was in Italy and could speak Italian. And he was in northern Italy and could not speak Italian, but he still managed to impersonate an Italian peasant for 8 days.
He just kept saying, "Mamma mia!"
Even with an empty sleeve, an eye patch, and multiple scars, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it seems believable." No wonder he's lost.
Molto bene.
Ciao.
And just kept walking.
So I want to know what my question to you is: who would you get to play him? If a movie was made about this dude, like looking at his photos and that sort of stuff, like
Will Smith.
And
It's just like Will Smith.
and he was always angry because the enemy kept talking about his wife.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Out of your mouth. But who would?
Mamma mia.
Who do you reckon you get to play him?
Looking at him, what's he look
It's
like?
got to be a story like that. You've got to have it's got to be someone good. I'm probably leaning towards Tom Cruise. I don't like the dude, but he always does such good movies.
He's too small.
Yeah.
He couldn't pull it off because he's too small.
Maybe. I mean, but he played Jack Reacher, and he was a pretty good Jack Reacher in the book. Jack Reacher's 6'6", not 5'2".
Not 4'6".
But I was reading about this dude the other day, and I was just like, far out.
I'm trying to think of an actor that sort of would look like him.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon McConaughey or something.
Yeah, McConaughey maybe, Ben Stiller.
They look the same.
So yeah, Adrian Carton Deviat. Deviat.
Deviat,
He
all
looks
right.
like a freaking
He looks
deviant.
like-
Look at him with his eye patch and all
No
that sort
arm.
of stuff. Man,
They said leave him. He's armless.
imagine being his grandkid. That'd be the worst. Because he's always going to have a back in my day story, and you are just eternally going to be a pussy.
Your kid
It
falls
doesn't matter
over and he
what
just
you
like,
do.
get up.
Yeah, yeah.
Get
Are you
hit-
missing an arm?
Oh,
Get up.
You just got hit by a car.
Yeah. You could never win an argument with Pop.
No, not with Pop.
You wouldn't even argue with a Pop like
No.
that, though, would you? Dad, how'd Pop lose his arm? Chewed it off in war, son. Cool. What else you got?
No, so I've got. There's only one more. I screenshotted a few photographs trying to.
Yeah.
'cause it was a study. When was it done? Where is it? What would happen if you put a group of mice in a place that looks like paradise? So how mice and humans have the same sort of hierarchy and tendencies.
Yeah.
And they said they put these mice. And everything was delicious and available to mice, like everything you wanted.
Yeah.
It's just like putting us in a room with beer and chicken.
Beer and chicken.
Beer and chicken,
Beer and
I
chicken.
suppose.
I like
there
that.
you go, Codes. And so this idea came across the American zoologist John Calhoun. So it's Calhoun. That's it there, that top one. See there? What would happen?
Okay. Yeah,
And
right.
and they implemented the idea that he put all the mice in this area where they had abundance of food, water, and a spacious living space. At first, he put 4 pairs of mice, 2 males, 2 females, and they began to reproduce very quickly, and their numbers increased.
Yeah.
After about 300 mice, the reproduction of the mice began to decrease significantly.
What?
When their number reached 600 mice, hierarchy appeared among them, or is known as the tendency to isolation. Then a category known as the miserable appeared, and the larger mice began to attack the smaller mice, and the weaker category the smaller mice in the weaker category, and led to the psychological collapse of many males. So even the female mice abandoned their role in protecting their young, and they started to attack other young females for no reason. The female mice were attacking the other young females. Over time, the mortality rate among the young mice reached 100%, and the birth rate dropped to 0, and homosexuality appeared. Can you imagine? The mice ate each other's flesh despite the availability of food and abundance. They had everything you wanted, but they started to eat each other. And after everything happened, the last mouse was born in the experiment 2 years after it began. So within 2 years, the whole structure of everything collapsed, and there was no mice.
Far out.
And they said, oh, well, that was probably a one-off. They did it 25 times and the same result
every time.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So it's almost, you've pretty much just described the collapse of the Roman Empire too.
Yeah, and they just said the mice, the experiment was repeated 25 times. The experiment proves that the extent of the social collapse that could happen to us humans if we all had the same reasons for comfort. So if we have everything we want and we don't have to strive for it.
We're on the way to that.
Oh, we're getting there.
Well and truly.
Mm.
Well and truly. Especially the one about the lines between male and female and sexuality getting blurred, because that was a big one at the end of the collapse of the Roman Empire. There's all these emperors and that sort of stuff started, swinging for both teams or one team or other teams or whatever team they wanted to swing for. And that was kind of the beginning of the end.
Yep. I'm going to get a little bit funny with this one because it's a very touchy subject at the moment. They was talking, you can bring it up somewhere if you want to search it. I don't know if it's 100%, but I've seen the other day that Hitler was burning the Jewish books because of the same reasons.
Oh yeah, I've heard a few bits and pieces about like what Hitler's intentions were and what they were brought about from, and certainly not defending that in any way, shape, or form.
And that's why it's a hard one to talk about.
Yeah. No, but it's an interesting reflection on history and why it went the way that it did.
Whatever happened happened.
And if you don't recognise it, the same sort of thing can happen again. And I saw something which was really interesting just recently too. If you compare a lot of what Hitler's kind of policies and that sort of thing that he was trying to implement initially before he went off the rails and just started wiping people out. If you have a look at what he was trying to get across the line initially, somebody else has been doing that lately too.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah. And
Very similar.
burning books is different to burning people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So
So,
he-
you know, you got to talk about that sort of stuff because that's how you make sure it doesn't happen again. You know, but yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting, actually.
So is there anything there on it?
There's an initial book for Karl Marx, Calcio becoming. Yeah.
Because they were talking about a lot of trans stuff was coming in, and that's why they were
Into the mice thing.
into
into him. Yeah, they
Into
reckon
the-
Hitler was cooked off his head
Jew-
half the time.
into
too.
the Jewish side of things. They said
But they
that
still-
was happen a lot.
Still doing it.
Well, let's get off that because we might
Nothing's-
end up in jail or
nothing's
someone be
changed.
knocking on our door.
All right. I've got a little bit of more pub ammo for you, and I thought this was really cool. So I only heard this just the other day. I'm a bit of a bike fan, like I've always loved my road bikes and that sort of stuff. So I always still check in on them from time to time. And I've known about these two bikes because there's been this battle for like super bike supremacy over the last 20 years, 30 years even. Like who's got the fastest bike? Who makes the fastest production bike on the planet? Going back into probably mid-90s, Honda released this bike called the Blackbird. CBR 1100, I think it was. Black, big, bulky kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure it had a top speed of 300 plus, like 330, 340 or something like that.
Honda Blackbird.
It's a Honda Blackbird. Yeah, CBR Blackbird, put that in. It'll come up. So it was, for a period of time, it was the quickest thing on the planet. Yeah. That's it. And even by today's standards, like they haven't made these things. There you go. From 96 to 2007, they were made. And they don't even make them. But even by today's standard, it's a pretty good looking bike. And they were comfortable. They were actually a little bit more of a cruiser. You could sit on them quite well. Yeah. But they just pulled breakneck speeds. They were crazy. So that was the Blackbird. Okay. Now they named it after the Blackbird because it's swift and all that sort of stuff. What do you reckon the number one enemy of the Blackbird is? Think birds of prey.
The Whitebird. No. See, told you not getting racist.
Yes. Oh my Jesus, cuz that's one of the funniest things you've ever fucking said. No, it is not the Whitebird, Tony. It is not the Whitebird. It is the peregrine falcon.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, because they
They
just
hover,
sit up above
yeah.
them because those blackbirds travel in big flocks.
Yeah, and they just come down from the top.
So they just come hurtling down and they pump them. You know the Japanese word for peregrine falcon is, or what the Japanese call a peregrine falcon?
Peregrine Falcon.
Peregrine falcon. No, idiot. God, that's funny too, though. No, in Japan, that bird is called a Hayabusa.
Oh, yeah.
So Suzuki thought, no, up yours, we're going to take the mantle off you. And they built a Suzuki Hayabusa.
Yeah.
And these things are still in production today. They still make these bikes today. And they are the second fastest bike on the planet, I believe.
My boxing gloves are Hayabusa.
Are they? Yeah, there you go. See, swift, bro. Pow. So Suzuki, as a big FU to Honda, came out with the Hayabusa. And I never knew that's where the names came from. I was like, oh, that's one-upmanship at its best. I don't think either of them are the fastest bike anymore because Kawasaki bought out a H2.
I remember Yamaha brought out the wasn't the Ninja. What was it?
No, they got the R1.
Yeah, R1.
And that's a
was
quick
it.
bike.
Yeah.
That's top 10 fastest bikes. There you go. So it is. There you go. So the Superleggero by Ducati and the Panigale by Ducati are second and third. So yeah, the H2R, like, I don't understand how the average Joe is allowed to buy those bikes.
I don't think it's allowed on the road. The
Is it
R,
not?
I think you
The
go
R
with
is not-
H2, yeah,
Is the
just-
only one that's
yeah,
allowed on the
yeah.
road. That makes
I'm
sense.
pretty
But I mean,
sure,
it's still, they're still both turbo. Is it turbocharged or supercharged? Turbocharged, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Cody
I'm
calls
pretty
me
sure.
Turbo and I was charged last night.
H2.
Cody, you're getting shout outs today. We're actually going to get Cody on in a couple of weeks.
Supercharged. No, it's
have a chat
supercharged.
too.
So it's a 998cc inline four-cylinder supercharged engine. Like these things have a top speed of 400 plus, I think. And I think each one is built handmade, and they have a different. Each one has a different top speed. Like they're not all exactly the same.
Look at that frame on it.
It's insane.
not that
No, it's
thick.
not a full fairing bike. It almost looks like a bikini fairing. That's what they call a bikini fairing on the front of it.
Yeah,
but
just
then
that
they've had to
actual
put
frame is
they've had to
only
put
like
wings on
probably
it.
20 mil
Like if you
round.
look at the front view of it, they've had to put wings on the side of this thing
So
to hold it
take
down. Look at that.
Yeah.
And the average Joe can go out and buy that. That
a nice
should be
looking bike,
illegal. Oh yeah, they're an immense looking bike. There is a clip of some superbike rider over in Dubai. You know, in Dubai, there's that real long bridge that crosses the Gulf there or something like that. So this superbike rider gets on one of those, goes from a standstill to 400 and back to a standstill before the end of the bridge. That's how fast that thing is.
Bloody hell.
Like that thing leaves F1 supercars behind. It leaves Bugatti Veyrons behind. And I think you can buy the H2 for about 46,000 brand new. I think they might be something like that. They're not super expensive for what they are. Like you've pretty much got the H2R 66 brand new.
Oh, that's second hand, but is it all?
I know it is.
second
Well,
hand?
it's a 2015, but it's obviously brand new. No one's ever used it. 2024 76. So for $76,000, you can own the fastest thing on the planet. Like it is pretty much the fastest thing on the planet. Production vehicle on the planet.
Oh, that would scare me too much.
Oh, mate. Oh, and I've ridden bikes, not like that.
I've never
but
ridden a road bike.
I've ridden R1s and GSXRs and all that sort of stuff, and I love them. They're so much fun. That's why
My
I don't ride them
brother-in-law
anymore.
had an R1, and he's like, "Just take it for a run." And then I just sat in the seat and I leant forward on it, and he goes, "Oh, just when you go to a corner and turn, you actually got to lean the opposite way, and you got to like commit it and sort of you got to swing it and
use the angle, lean
I said,
angle.
You're telling me too much. You're scaring the shit out of me. Fuck your bike.
I don't want to ride it. Yeah. But they are. Like I had a couple of mates. I had an R1 that I'd spent far too much money on, and I let a mate of mine who'd ridden that, and he'd ridden road bikes and he'd ridden trail bikes and that sort of stuff, and he went off and did a blocky, and he came back and he just kicked the stand down and got off it.
Shook his way back inside.
I don't want to ride that thing. He goes, the front
stains on the seat.
It's like the front won't stay down. I'm like, I know.
She said to him, "You don't ever have to buy a front tire for these bikes."
No, that's exactly
Don't
right.
touch the
Plenty
ground.
of back tyres though. So yeah, I just thought. Anyway, we got way off, but I thought the whole Hayabusa Blackbird thing. It was something I never heard. Probably only appeals to the motorbike riders out there. But that was a cool little story of one-upmanship.
Talking about one-upmanship, there was an ad I seen on Insta the other day where Coke put their figures out and how much better they were in America over Pepsi.
Yeah.
And I think they sold like 3 times the amount of Pepsi.
Yep.
So, and they did an ad for it. So Pepsi, for an ad, they put up on the telly, this kid goes to like a Coke machine and there's Coke and Pepsi in it. God, it's funny how we call soda machines a Coke machine.
Yeah,
Even if you
I
might be
know,
just
that's
Pasito
right. They're
in
not
it.
a Coke machine.
There's not even a Coke
No.
machine in it. Might even be Coke
They're
in
a
it, but
vending machine, but it's still a Coke machine.
So he goes up to the machine and he's looking. He wants at the top the Pepsis. You know how they have the buttons.
Yeah.
At the top, Pepsi's at the top, and down the bottom was 2 Coke symbols.
Okay.
And so the kid's like, he's got like $4, and he just puts $1 in and grabs a Coke out.
Yeah.
Puts it on the ground. Gets another $1 and puts the Coke in. And gets a Coke out and puts it on the ground. Then he puts another $1 in, then stands on the 2 Cokes and hits the Pepsi and just walks off drinking the
That's
Pepsi.
funny. That's funny. That's really good. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Fuck, that's smart, eh?
Speaking of drinks losing some aura, Great Northern. We never talked about this because that's your drop.
Yeah.
That's your drop. Is it still your drop?
Not while I'm fighting.
Well, no, obviously. But I don't know, did you catch the whole Great Northern
I did see
debacle
it.
while you're away? Because it all happened while you're away. And
Yeah.
to their credit, they recognised where they went wrong and they dropped it straight away.
Yeah.
They cancelled the campaign straight away. Unlike Budweiser that tried to stick to their guns. And then 2 years later, they went,
Yeah.
okay, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
So it was more about hunting land, wasn't it? Or
So no,
public land
it was
and-
they were talking about that. So they had put money into a foundation, donated money to a foundation, which basically in the crux of things is trying to get more state forests to become national parks.
Yeah.
Particularly New South Wales, Victoria, that sort of thing. You can hunt through the state forests
Yeah.
and you can use the state forests.
Mm.
You can camp wherever you want. You can camp on rivers. Obviously, you don't be a grub and mess the place up,
Yeah.
but you can do it pretty much whatever you like within
Yeah.
reason. Whereas national parks, as
Yeah.
we know up here,
Not
because
allowed
there's
an
so
animal
many,
on them.
you're not allowed to take your dog. You're not allowed to hunt. You're
You
not
gotta-
allowed to do.
you gotta pay to stay
You got to
there.
pay to stay. It's designated where you have to stay and all that sort of stuff. So it changes the outlook big time. Great Northern never thought about that, and they also never thought about the fact that the vast majority of their drinkers are blokes like us
Yeah.
that love the outdoors, love going for a fish and a hunt and
Love not being told
four-wheel
what to do.
driving and all that sort of stuff. So they dropped this thing, and it just became this instant. They just got blackballed,
Yeah.
and the amount of people that were shooting full beer cans with guns and
I
running
seen
them
that.
over with their utes and chucking them off things and smashing
Because
them.
when
and-
I seen it, I was like, what did fucking Great Northern do?
I know, like the back. I've not seen backlash like that, and it was. I guess the backlash was so intense, and they dropped it so quick that it's all gone now. It's just done.
Have
They,
you-
they're not wearing any further ramifications from
Yeah.
it, and I feel like everyone's gone straight back to drinking their beer because they've gone, well, you did the right thing. Well, sweet as.
Well,
That
that's
was the
Australians
correct
for you.
response. That's Australians for you,
It's-
isn't it?
it's-
That is so Aussie.
It's hard to change a beer. too.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone wanted to, but
Yeah.
they just read the room wrong.
I
And-
reckon
and
there's
there
probably
seems to
a
be-
high percentage that still wouldn't be doing it just because they did it, though.
Oh, definitely. I reckon so too.
Yeah.
I reckon the loss would have been. Well, the loss obviously was considerable
Yeah.
because they flicked the campaign after, I think it was only 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
I noticed they brought out a new beer now.
Have they?
It's premium Great Northern or something. So I don't know if that's a ramification of just
Maybe
trying
they
to
have. Maybe they've just
dodge
tried
around
to. Yeah. Yeah.
or if it's actually a different tasting beer. I don't know. I haven't.
I
But
forgot to ask you about that.
mm,
You're away. All this
Yeah,
stuff you
that's
missed
a
when
beer
you're
look.
away. Oh, yeah. Okay, then.
long
Long run.
run. Yeah.
Craft beer case, $64. Is it just me, or does that not seem real expensive? What's a carton? Of,
25. Oh, bloody! It's getting up there anyway.
what's a carton of
Oh,
Great
probably-
Northern mid?
Great
mid-worth?
Northern 55,
Okay.
55 to 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be a heavy too, wouldn't they?
What? Yeah, I don't know what they are actually.
Premium long run beer. That's actually a really good looking beer. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so that's
Maybe they had to drop something to try and win people back because it was.
Great Northern. We can help you if you want to jump on board.
And there seems to be a lot more of this happening now with advertising campaigns where they're just reading the room wrong. And it
Yeah.
probably comes back to your mouse experiment. Do you know what I mean? Where it's becoming hard for these advertising companies to figure out which direction they should be taking.
You know what it is? I've seen it because I'm a banana farmer. I see all the way they advertise and that. It's advertising companies trying to one up each other.
Yeah.
So what happens is they got something that works, but the next company comes in and is like, oh, we can make that better. Just give us $1 million and we'll make a better one than that. And they try to one up each other and end up fucking it.
Yeah. Well,
Instead of
this
just stick with what you know.
This
and
was
what works.
really reading the room wrong. They got it. They
Yeah.
got it so wrong. They
Yeah.
got it so wrong. But hey, hats off to them for admitting their error, turning around and repairing it.
Yeah, well, I can tell
Be
you.
interesting to know what they lost.
Yeah, well, in the banana industry, they fucked Billy off as our ambassador. And they
Oh, yeah.
put in that cockhead, fucking Australian Idol cockhead, Rob Mills.
Oh,
Rob-
did they?
They put him in
You're kidding.
and got rid of Billy. And same thing, it was just like the beer drinkers. All the banana farmers lost their fucking shit. We went to a meeting and I got up and I fucking fed it to them. I said, you got rid of pretty much the most prominent Queenslander known to man. What's that say? Yep. Known to man. And you've brought in some fella that fucked Paris Hilton. That's what his claim to fame is. And everyone in the room just pissed themselves fucking laughing.
No, I know. That's reading the room so wrong.
Yeah.
Like Bill's dad was a banana farmer, for Christ's
Oh,
sakes.
no, it wasn't banana. He worked in the banana
Or
industry.
worked in the banana
Yeah.
industry. Like, how much closer to home do you need it to
Yeah.
be?
And his mum did too. She worked at Vizzy.
And-
his dad worked at Vizzy.
And he's a full tilt weapon.
Yeah. And he actually had, for a shout out to Mop, he sadly passed away a couple of weeks while I was in Canada. shout out to you, Billy. Yeah, I know what it's like to lose a family member, so thinking of you. And Mop was a fucking good bloke.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
one
was
of the
a-
blokes I work with at the hospital was real good mates with him, real good.
Yeah.
They'd knock around together all the time and that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. And yeah, some of the stories.
Oh,
Like-
he was. I've never seen someone that can drink the bulk piss he drank and be as fit looking as he was.
Yeah.
He just had muscles on muscles at the age he was, and I'm like, how do you look like that?
And apparently Bill's mum was a bit of an athlete too,
Yeah,
eh?
they're all athletes. Like Mop was a really good football player.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
And
then he
that's-
was a coach, local coach, really good coach as well.
And when you see these NRL level athletes, like the level of athlete that these people are is so far above everybody else.
Yeah.
Like at park footy, they make footy look easy.
Yeah. And most of the time it's genetics.
Of course it is. There's a huge play in genetics.
So, Billy, you're not as good as what you think you are. It's fucking genetics, mate.
Yeah, thank your dad, bro.
Thank your dad and your mum.
I was listening to a podcast the other day about rugby in New Zealand, and there's a couple of boys one's still playing for the All Blacks. Artie Savea, his little brother used to play for the All Blacks. Julian Savea. And, Artie Savea plays in the forwards. He's not a big dude, though. He's like 99 kilos, but he's just freakishly strong. Like, you've never seen a bloke throw other humans around like this. And his brother was a winger that weighed 109 kilos, and I think he's the highest try scorer ever in All Black history now. Like, he was a freak of nature. And they were talking about these two kids in school. So they used to let Artie play up because he wanted to play with his brother. So he played 2 years upper grade. And his mum, this is the difference between, like, those athletes that go on to be NRL or Super Rugby or All Blacks or Wallabies or something like that. At high school level, they are already so far above everybody else.
Yep.
It's like they haven't come from anywhere. And there was a story going around that Artie got head hired, but Artie's mum always had a rule for his older brother that he was only allowed to score 2 tries a game. So that all the other kids got to score tries too. So he was only allowed to score 2 a game. And after his little brother got clotheslined, his mum was like, okay, Julian, you go and score as many as you want. He scored 22. 22 tries in one game. I was like, and that's the difference between those who play All Blacks and the average Joe, like you and I. At that level, that's the difference.
Yeah. No, so, yeah.
What do you got on for the week coming? I think we're going to get out of the water, hey. I really do.
Hope so.
I think this shit's going to blow past us.
It looks like, Saturday possibly could be coming down. Looks like it's going into the red. I see it there just before. I do my usually morning scroll and push forward 7 days.
Yeah, that's what I do too. That's exactly, it is. It's just kind of
Yeah.
poking its head down. Hopefully
Yeah.
it does. And hopefully this weather doesn't already smash what is a very, very waterlogged North Queensland, because it's pretty waterlogged all the way down to Mackay.
So another thing I watched was Wally's. I think it's Wally's Weather. My missus follows it on Facebook. Wally's Weather. And he just said that it shows all the green convergence of the monsoon. He said now it's joined up with Fiji. He said that's pretty much the end of the monsoon. So this will be the last monsoonal run, and then it's going to piss off north.
And what, clear up, or we'll still get more rain?
Like it'll be your trade winds then. It won't be monsoonal
So it'll
rain
blow its
and
guts out.
stormy and crap. It'll just be blowing windy rain shit that we get for next 6 months.
That's southerly for 4 months.
Yeah, but you won't get cyclones.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, I don't want
That's
them
okay.
fuckers.
And I don't particularly want any more rain either. And I'm pretty sure anyone down around Ingham and Cardwell, I hope you guys are all on the up and up down that way. Because nearly 2.5 metres of
Yeah.
rain in 7 weeks.
I'm just putting some more money in this total fit out's bloody can here we got.
We probably
I've
missed
been
a
saying
few.
a few swear words.
Yeah.
Especially around the important stuff we were talking about. Look at that
Yeah,
dollar.
that's right.
I don't want to throw that one in there. That's a pretty one.
Oh, what's that one?
It's got a green thing on it.
Remember when they used to do, I mean, they probably still do all these little collectible coins, don't we? We just don't pay attention to them anymore.
Yeah. Oh, my mum collected 50-cent coins. She's got a few of the round ones and stuff
Oh, really?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You can't say that around your mates. You talk about round ones, it's something different. Got a few real ones, bro.
Be pretty hard to shell for 50-cent coin, no.
So, just before we pull up, I've got any Netflix and stuff you've been watching on different shows?
Not really, brother. You know me. I don't really watch too much
Well,
TV.
I don't, but because we flew overseas, I had
You
to
did.
fill some spots. So I had
Absolutely.
to go on and research and find out what shows because I
Okay.
watched couple of good ones. American Primeval on Netflix.
Yeah.
Worth a watch.
Yep.
That shit really happened. Fuck, it's a crazy world back when in the old frontier days when they were,
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Western
expanding.
days, like yep.
they were talking about the Mormons.
Yeah.
They were like the bad people.
Yeah.
they were
When you look
killing
into
more
the
people
hist-
than anything.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And now they're like the best people over there,
that's-
apparently.
So many of the religions are like that, though, aren't
Yeah,
they?
and so that's a good one to watch. And for a family show, if you want to sit down and watch with your family, there's one called Loot on Apple TV.
Loot.
Yeah, it's you've seen the lady. She's sort of I don't know what fucking breed she is.
Might be a black bird, might be a white bird. We don't know.
She's the in between bird, and she marries she's with a follower that was a billionaire, and she caught him rooting, and she gets half his money, and she gets like $85 billion, and she's just drinks piss and has fun.
Sweet.
So it's just about her. It's pretty good just following
Alright.
that. There's some
I'll check
good
that out.
characters in that in it.
Yeah.
And on Netflix, there's one called The Recruit.
The
It's a really
Recruit.
good show.
Is it? Is this like
Yeah.
a spy kind of one?
Sort of spy, yeah. It's a spy one. He's just a lawyer, but he gets caught up in all the shit, and it just shows like probably what really happens in the CIA. You can't talk about stuff, and it's just all the little things. Like it's serious but funny. There's some funny parts in it where they're like, just don't talk about it in front of me and all that sort of shit. Yeah.
Did you ever watch? It was on a while ago. Jack, what was it called?
Jack shit.
Nah, I think it was on Netflix.
Well, you said you haven't been watching anything, so you've been watching Jack shit.
Netflix. No, this was a while ago. No, I can't remember what it was called. There was a show with that. No, I've got nothing. I can't even remember what it is, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But it was a really good show. There is one on Netflix. I don't know if you've watched any of it called The Lioness.
Yeah,
Have you watched that
I
yet?
want to watch it. They reckon
I
it's
do
really
too.
good.
Yeah, that looks
talk
good with that
about it.
Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching that actually.
I
I've been
did
holding out to
watch the other
that.
one with, what's the name? I think we spoke about it on here. The one with the hot Spanish lady out of Modern Family.
Oh, Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, she's got one. She's like that sort. She does one like that as well. It's probably a 6-part series on.
Is she like a mafia boss
Yeah,
or a wife of
yeah.
a mafia boss or something? I think I
Yeah.
did see that one. Yeah, I
They
haven't
actually
watched
put
it, though.
prosthetics on her, make on her nose to make her look uglier. It's like, leave her hot.
Didn't work.
She
Didn't
still
work.
had all the parts. So
Everybody knows that's not stopped me before.
So I did make an ad for Oscar the other day just to run it by him what we would say. So I have to play it to you just so you can hear
Away
it.
you go. We'll go out on
So
this.
this is a BME NQ. I did this down the farm.
BME BME Engineering Cairns is one of the largest boat builders in the Cairns region, specialising in all aspects of aluminium fabrication, stainless and mild steel welding. And they're looking for tradies like yourself to become part of the crew. With honesty and integrity being their motto, you can be assured they're good cunts. Yep, I said it, good cunts. You can't see that, bro. I'm making this ad, and I'll tell it as I see it. I've been mates with them my whole life, and I know that they got my back, so they'll definitely have yours. Oh, well, they must be good, eh, bro? So if you want to make a change, sea change, any type of change except a fucking sex change, and live in one of the most livable cities in Australia, contact BME Cairns, NQ, and or us here at Pub Emo, and we'll point you in the right direction. Sweet as, bro. See you, bro.
Does that sound like
Done.
you?
Yeah, absolutely it did. I couldn't even
I
tell the
thought that
difference.
was Joy.
I was thinking to myself, when did we have this? When did we record this? I can't even remember. Must have been blind. Anyway, beautiful people.
So shout out to all the new followers and existing.
That have
We've got-
jumped
we've
on
got,
board.
Right Angle Cabinets, and then we also got Coastal Marine and Outdoors Innisfail and BME NQ.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we've got a few
Building
others
a
in the
little-
pipeline.
Building a little community. Yeah, absolutely we do. Absolutely we do.
Yeah.
All right, done deal. Are we out of here?
We're out.
We're out of here. Got to love you and leave you, folks.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. And remember, hey, like everyone, let's start looking out for each other.
Yep.
Look out for your neighbour.
Check out on
Even
your
if you
neighbour.
had beef with your neighbour, it's just not worth it.
Or if you
You've got
see-
other people to beef with than your neighbours, man.
Yeah, and if you ever see the odd dodgy car driving around or something like that, just have a chat with your neighbour and say, just point it out.
Yeah,
Stuff
that's
like that.
exactly right.
See
Just
something a bit different in
be
the
a little bit
neighbourhood?
more vigilant. Buy yourself an axe handle. Screw some batten screws into it so they protrude about 2.5 inches.
That's
and then
because-
just cut the batten screw end off so it's nice and sharp.
Yeah, just because when you do that, that usually holds the head on, but it fell off.
Yeah.
That's what you tell the cops.
His head or the axe head? Anyway, we're out of here. Talk soon.
See you next week.
See us.
Tooroo. Hey, bro.
What's going on, man?
Oh, we've
Exciting times. Exciting times. We got some new sponsors.
Yeah, we've got some new sponsors, and yeah, if you listen right at the end, there's a little bit of an ad we might have chucked up.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's just funny. Every time, all we think about is what we just spoke about. 'Cause we do this at the end, if you don't realise.
Back to front.
But yeah, we spoke about a fair amount of pub ammo, but also there's a serious one in there about a break and enter and pretty much a rape. So
Just a real escalation in violence in far north Queensland, and it's not cool.
And we're sick of it.
Yep, absolutely. All right,
So let's get
into it.
stuck into it.
Done.
Pub ammo coming at ya.